we move on to do a recap of today's Champions League fixtures, obviously not including the games that we've already discussed, with the Real Madrid taking on I believe it was no, not I believe it was Lille, and obviously with Real Madrid taking on Lille, and and Aston Villa's surprising 1-0 victory over Bayern Munich. Other games we do have to discuss. Shakhtar Atalanta, they got that 3 no, that was yesterday. Or technically today. The Atalanta 3-0 win over Shakhtar Donetsk. Feyenoord got a 3-2 win over Girona. Club Brugge got that 1-0 win over Sturm Graz. Dinamo Zagreb and Monaco finished 2-2. We start off though. Juventus got a 3-2 win over RB Leipzig. Leipzig came into this Champions League campaign as a pot one team, and so far has started off with 2 losses, which is and it's been 2 difficult games, playing against Atletico Madrid and Juventus, which is not the most difficult game to play with at home. But Juventus is not a dog in the I don't even know what kind of cliche I was trying to make, what metaphor I was trying to make, but they're not a easy team. Obviously, it's a team was in transition now with Thiago Motta, but I do think it was a little poor from Leipzig to play against a Juventus team, having the lead 2-1 with 10 men, and allowing them to not only come back into the game but to win it, with Juventus being down to 10 men against Leipzig playing it at home, with Francesco Conceição's 83rd minute winner. I'd be very, very disappointed if I was a Leipzig fan. Cesco, he had 2 goals. We know the ability with him. He was also linked to a lot of big teams after the European Championship, but we know the quality that he has, getting the 2 goals. And then Juventus, they suffered a lot into this game. They lost their captain in Bremer, the leader in the back line, and then Nicolas Gonzalez, he was also forced off as well with injury. And then later on, they did get that red card in the 58th minute, I believe, or the 59th minute. Michel De Gregorio. There was a lot of issues that they had to deal with, and there was a lot of adversity that was required in getting into this result. And if you're a Juventus fan coming out, the way you lost 2 players to injury, and it's hard. You're losing players to injury, you're forcing substitutions, and then you go down a man later on in the second half. It's hard for a manager in that position to be able to adapt, because you don't have access to the substitutions like you did if you didn't suffer those injuries. Your bench is already thinning, so it was it's a difficult place for Juventus, and to do this all on the road, and to not just come back and get that equalizer, but to win the game. This is a remarkable 3 points if you're a Juventus fan, and it's something you should be beyond delighted over. And now with Juventus starting off their Champions League campaign with 6 points in the first 2 games, 6 points of 6 after their 3-1 win over PSV Eindhoven in match day 1, and then this game, amazing result, and it's if you're a Juventus fan, this is something should be very excited about. The other game that there's actually a few other games. This one is a shocking one. Atletico Madrid, they got downed by Benfica. They got done by Benfica. 4-0 victory for Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid is a team that never looks this vulnerable. To give up 4 goals, yes, 2 were penalties, but to lose to Benfica 4-0 and to get dominated that they were. Atletico Madrid didn't have a single shot on target. 19 shots to 4 for Atletico Madrid, 10 shots on target to none. No shots on target for Atletico Madrid. Um, it's it's really surprising how dominated that they were to concede 4 goals. This is a team in Atletico Madrid, especially under Simeone. They've had that defensive intensity. Not intensity, their defensive nature to them, where they don't concede goals, and and it's a team that's defensively solid, and to look as open as they did, I mean, you know, uh, I'm really really surprised. Simeone, um, he said, "I always like to think positively, and I think it's an opportunity to keep improving. We had been doing a very good job. Today, we didn't play the game we expected, but we have to keep going. We played badly. We have to accept that we didn't play well. The substitutions didn't give us the spark that they gave us at other times. We played badly. They were better, and we have to accept that." It was really unbelievable, um, in my opinion, how how open that they were. Um, and Atletico Madrid, they looked woeful. They really did. Di Maria, he continues to add on to a great career. What a player he is. Um, and speaking of Atletico Madrid defense, the mistake to that led to the to Turklu goal is just not Atletico Madrid's DNA. And then it was another mistake that led to the penalty that Di Maria was able to take advantage of. And then down the stretch, with Atletico Madrid being down 2-0, yes, they were trying to get numbers forward, but they didn't create any clear-cut opportunities. And when, Benfica was going the other way, they had time and space, and they really made Atletico pay on the counterattack, and it ended up biting them when they conceded another penalty later on to make it 4. Shortly after a header from a corner kick in the 75th minute that made it 3-0. Just overall, really, really surprised. And if you're Atletico Madrid, yeah, this is a learning curve, to say the least. Liverpool start to the really good start to the season continues. This is a Liverpool team that's won every single game that they played this season, besides that one bad result where they lost to Nottingham Forest. They've been brilliant this season. This is a team in Liverpool that look like, they are legit title contenders. They're legit UCL contenders. They're playing some really, really good football. McAllister getting on the score sheet. He's been really good this season. Mohamed Salah continues to add, his ruthless nature to score goals. And it was an absolute brilliant goal as well. Arne Slot, and Arne Slot not being satisfied as well, saying he wasn't delighted with the performance, and there was a lot to improve. But look, I'll tell you what, they were still really, really good, and and if there's more to improve from here, wow, I do have to say, and Allison, he made some really, really good saves as well, I do have to say, which is ironic because I was watching an Allison interview this morning with Joe Hart, and he was very, very important as well. He made some few saves, but individually, Liverpool have some clutch players in Salah and Luis Diaz and McAllister, Van Dijk, Konate, Trent, Allison. It's just, I think they can be really a team that can contend for all the major titles this season. Obviously, they're not going to win the treble or anything, nothing of that sort. But they can compete for the UCL. They can compete for the Premier League. But yeah, overall, that's the whole recap of today's fixtures. That after 2 match days, Dortmund find themselves on top. Obviously, this is based on goal differential because there's plenty of teams that have 6 points. But Dortmund have a 9-goal differential, which is 4 better than anybody else, because of the 7-1 win that they had in their game against Celtic, and then in the opening game they got a 3-0 win over Bruges. They find themselves top of the Champions League group stage, but they are level on points with Brest, who also have themselves on 6 points. Benfica as well. Leverkusen have 6. Liverpool has 6. Aston Villa has 6. Juventus has 6. As far as the teams with 4 points, in that second group of teams, you got City with 4 points. Inter, Sparta Praha, Atalanta, Sporting Lisbon, Arsenal, Monaco all have 4 points. As far as 3 points, some of these big teams here had bad losses, but also had some, good bounce back wins, or or vice versa. In Bayern, where they lost today to Villa, Barcelona had that bounce back win against Young Boys. Real Madrid had that shocking loss to Lille. Speaking of Lille, is another team with 3 points. PSG as well. Celtic with 3 points. Bruges have 3 points, and then Feyenoord and Atletico Madrid with 3 points. As far as teams that only have a point so far, PSV, Stuttgart, Bologna, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Dinamo Zagreb. And teams that haven't registered a single point, Leipzig, which is very concerning, the fact that this is a Pot 1 team entering this Champions League. So they need to start stepping up their performances. Girona as well doesn't have a single point. Sturm Graz. AC Milan is a team to be worried about not having a single point after this first 2 games. Obviously, taking on Liverpool and going away to Leverkusen is a difficult start, but this is a team that needs to start piling up results in the Champions League. Crvena Zvezda also have 0 points. Salzburg has 0 points. Slovan Bratislava and Young Boys both also as well don't have any points. So that's our recap of the Champions League. We are excited for match day 3 to begin. And I believe Champions League match day 3 will begin October 22nd, so a little bit later this month. We're looking forward to it.